From the Studio 13 Studios in Splendora, Texas.
Hey everybody, what's going on? And welcome to Hank's Think Tank. Today, I've got Charlie Riley in. He is Montgomery County's Commissioner, Precinct 2, and I've also got his wonderful Chief of Staff in, Bruce Berger. How's it going this evening, gentlemen?
Everything's going good.
Fantastic. Good to have you on. Been a little while. I think you're the last commissioner, so I've had everybody else on so far.
It has been a while. We've been trying to get over here for a while. But
yeah, schedules.
yes, you know how it is.
Thank you for saving the best for last. I appreciate it.
That's the way to do it. We usually knock it out that way.
Good for you.
So, I did a little research and found quite a lot. So I wanted to just do a quick little just bio background. So you moved here in 1971, graduated from Magnolia High School around 1975, married your high school sweetheart. I want to hear about that. Deanne?
Yep. Deanne.
Okay. And you've been married for 40 plus years.
49 years.
Wow. 2 kids?
2 kids, 5 grandkids.
Man,
Yeah,
awesome.
5.
49 years being married, that says a lot about a man right there. Stability.
Says a lot about the woman, too, I promise you.
Sure does.
I will say that. It's
I get it. I do.
It's been a wonderful 49 years. It ain't all been easy, but it's been well worth it, and it's the main reason I'm around.
Yeah. I'll tell you, it's never easy, but, man, longevity like that, you just don't hear of it too much
That's right.
anymore.
Yeah.
A lot of people get married, they get divorced in a year or two, and
They don't even think about marriage anymore. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not like it used to be.
it's not the institution that it used to be.
You're exactly
Yeah,
right.
that's too bad.
Yes.
So, but, everything just kind of moves forward in time. Okay, so you worked also for Precinct 2 for many years before you became an elected official. And I'd like to hear about what you did in that time. And that was, what, 10 to 14 years that you worked?
Close to
somewhere?
14 years.
Okay.
I worked for Craig Doyle. My dad, back in the day when we moved out here from Houston, he was driving back and forth from Magnolia to Houston to work, downtown Houston, and then he decided that he had enough, and he went to work for Montgomery County. And I started just hanging out with these guys. I was 14, 15 years old, and whenever I didn't have a whole lot going on and they weren't doing a whole lot, I'd go run around with Malcolm Purvis and all these other guys and my dad. And so that's how I kind of got into the county, not really the business, but I got to hanging around with the county guys. Mm-hmm. And we had a lot of fun. And then when Malcolm Purvis passed away, let me back up. We helped, me and my wife and my dad, we helped Malcolm on his campaign, helped him get elected.
Okay.
Just worked the campaign for him.
Sure.
Well, when he passed away, me and Craig Doyle knew each other. We weren't real good friends, but we knew it. We were acquaintances, and he passed away. I went to Craig and said, "Hey, Craig, what are you going to do?" And he said, "I'm looking for they called him an administrative assistant back in the day." And he said, "Would you like to do that?" And I said, "Well, I don't know if I want to do that or not, Craig. I never thought about being, number one, working with the county. I never thought about being in politics." So he told me, he said, "Hey, why don't you just come right around with us for about a week and see if that's what you want to do?" So I went over there and stayed and rode with Craig and rode with these other guys. So I decided to go to work for Craig. So for 14 years, almost 14 years, I was his administrative assistant, manager of precinct operations, whatever the title was. And I learned the ins and outs of the business. I learned how to do all the county type stuff. And I ran that operation for about 12 years. I ran that whole operation. Now, I'm not talking about court, and I'm not talking about all these big decisions.
I get it.
I ran the day-to-day operations, and I loved it. I mean, I just loved it. And I really thought that was all I was going to do. I'd never go any higher than where I was at. I had no intentions of doing anything else. And then, Craig got to thinking about maybe running for county judge, and then I knew if I didn't try to run for his spot and try to get that spot, there's a good chance that if somebody else got elected, I'd be the first one they get rid of.
Sure.
That's just how it works.
Yeah.
So, like I say, for 13, almost 14 years, I did that, and then I ran and got elected. And I'll be honest with you, Hank, I thought man, this is going to be a piece of cake. I've been doing this for 13 years. This court's going to be, there ain't going to be nothing to it. And I'm going to be honest, I used to get on to Craig. Me and Craig had a lot of heated discussions at times. I was like, Craig, why did you do that? Why didn't you do this? Why didn't you? And I mean, we ragged on each other pretty good. And about the third or fourth court after I got on the court, I called Craig to the side and said, hey, I need to apologize to you. He said, what do you got to apologize to you? I said, I used to get on you pretty hard about why you did things the way you did. I understand now. It's a whole different world from where I was at than when you get to sit up there on that bench. It's a complete different world up there. And I learned real quick it wasn't going to be a piece of cake. There's a lot to it.
Yeah. You know, I'm glad you mentioned that, because a lot of people that either watch Commissioner's Court or go, they don't really understand that even though you're a commissioner for Precinct 2, you're also a commissioner for Montgomery County as a whole.
That's exactly
And so
right.
you've got to be able to compartmentalize and ensure that the decisions you make are not only good for Precinct 2, but also good for the county as well. And there's a lot of times that you guys will vote on stuff that's just county stuff.
And there's a lot of times that if you sit and look at it and analyze what you're really trying to do, it may not be the very best thing for Precinct 2, but it's good for over here, or it's good for I-45.
Right.
And you can't vote just to make sure this is good. You got to look at the whole county. You have to do that.
That's important.
It's very
You know?
important.
And so in my discussions, I talk to people sometimes, they say, well, you know, Charlie Riley's commissioner, this is Precinct 4, why would I care? There's your reason.
There's your reason. And
Yeah.
we do care a lot, and we do care about what goes on over here with Matt Gray. We care about Robert Walker.
Oh, yeah.
We cared about Nowak. Now we care about Wheeler. I care about the judge. It's a whole. We're all in this together. Our problems don't stop at the precinct lines.
Right.
Woodlands and Magnolia are tied together, whether we like it or not. There's no line between us. There's a precinct line.
Yeah.
But what happens over here is going to affect us just as much as it does them.
So let's go back 20 years when you were working instead of being a commissioner. Did you ever think Montgomery County, wooded, rural Montgomery County, would turn out to be what it is now?
No, I never did. There's nobody that I can think would ever see. You know, when you look at what the Woodlands did 50 years ago, 78, 79, whenever they really kicked off,
Yeah.
however long ago that
It was
was,
a brilliant development.
it was brilliant. And what they did, they didn't come in and clear cut everything like most people do now. They tried to take care of business the way that, and they did a great job.
Mhm.
When you saw that, that's what not everybody, that's what a lot of people were looking for. Some people don't like it a bit. Some people love it.
Mhm.
I tell the story all the time with some of these developers that we got and some of the developments. If everybody would plat and develop stuff the way the Woodlands and some of these new developments that we have coming to town now with the Johnson developments and the Crestons and the Coltons and all these guys,
Right.
they're Wood Forest. I think Wood Forest is one of the prettiest places in Montgomery County,
Mhm.
and it's done right. If all the developments in my precinct would be that way, I wouldn't have to come to work about 3 days a week,
Right.
because they don't do things the wrong way. They do things the right way. There's still some folks in our county, let's face it, that try to get by with stuff.
Oh, yeah.
You
Of
have
course.
to be on your toes dealing with people, because they'll try to get something over you quick.
Yeah. Yeah, I get
But
it.
when you say, did you ever see this coming? I never thought I'd see 1488 like it is, with all the trees gone, houses and businesses everywhere. And anybody that's got 25 or 30 acres, they're trying to sell it by the square foot and make a fortune on it. And there's some developer that's going to try to buy it, that's going to develop it. And again, I get questioned all the time, why did you let them do this? And why did you give them a permit to do that? And why did you let them plant that? The reason is I can't stop it.
Right.
I would give anything if I could stop these 100-acre developments at the end of some little county road. I would give anything if I could do that, but you can't.
Yeah. All you can do is hold their feet to the fire and hope that they
Make
do
them
things
do it.
right.
Make them do it the way they're supposed to. That's all you can do.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a tough job. I wouldn't want that job. Not with the growth that we've had. If it was just standard county business, I could see it. But, man, with this explosive growth and just everything going the way it's going, I can't imagine what your midnight waking up thinking about, okay, hold on a minute. You know, I think I'd have one of those nights about every
My
Monday,
wife-
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
I get up,
Yeah.
sometimes I get up at 2:00 in the morning, and she knows right then. And she'll say, "What are you worried about? What you thinking about? What's going on?"
Yeah.
And and you just tell her nothing. I just can't sleep. But there's always something that you're thinking about. It's a 24-hour, 7 day a week job.
Yeah.
You just have to get away sometimes. You just have to and that's why
Got to be hard to do.
when you have a great staff. And I'm telling you, we finally got Precinct 2, our staff and our people. We got the best in the county. I promise you. There's nobody does it better than us.
Awesome.
Nobody.
Yeah. That's really good. So I wanted to make sure and cover what the responsibilities of a commissioner are, but what I really want to do is let people know what you believe your extended responsibilities are. Now, your responsibilities are roads, bridges, drainage, flood mitigation, and then, of course, civic centers and parks and things like that.
And
But what do you think your extended responsibilities
You're-
would be?
you're
The thing
exactly
that
right.
Gets you up in the middle of the night.
what gets you up in the middle of the night is you're exactly right. Those things that you talk about, roads and drainage and bridges, and I have to worry about my precinct more than anybody on that.
Mm-hmm.
But my extended job is like we talked about earlier. I got to worry about, or not worry about, I got to be concerned about what's happening over here that,
Mhm.
that maybe Matt needs some help on, or the city of Splendor or Porter, anybody that might need some help. You got to be thinking about that all the time. We have such a great working relationship with our cities and our communities in Precinct 2 and our school districts. I mean, that's the key to making things work the way it should be. You can't
Absolutely.
be sitting there like an island, like I'm the commissioner. I can't do it all. I don't have near the authority everybody thinks I do, but I can't do it all. I need the school district to work with us. I need the city of Magnolia to work with us. I need the city of Conroe. I may even need Porter to do something one of these days and get Commissioner Four over here to help me do things. That's how you have to have relationships with everybody in this county, or it's never going to work. You
Right.
can't be sitting over here by yourself.
And I think we have a really good, stable commissioners court.
I do
I
too.
really do.
I think we got a great
y'all
court.
guys seem to work well. There's even some comedy in there every once in a while, so that makes me feel comfortable because I'm like, okay, we have millions of dollars that we're dealing with, but at least these guys feel good enough to where they can smile and joke about
Yeah.
it, and nobody's really flipping out, so everything must be okay.
And we're
That's the
having
message I get as a voter.
pretty good conversations on the court now instead of
Right.
arguing with one another or trying to get at one another. We're not jabbing one another. We're taking care of business, and it's all not. We're all going to agree about everything. You've seen some 3-2 votes.
Yeah.
That don't happen very often, but it does.
Yeah.
But that don't mean that when if Robert Walker disagrees with me on this vote, that I'm not going to talk to him for a week or not going to call him for a month. That ain't how that works. So you get over it and move on and work something out. That's how you have to do this.
Okay. Let's talk a little bit about, because we've gone kind of over your experience and your record. And you know, it's impressive because being that you were an employee before you became a commissioner immediately makes me think, well, this guy already knew the job. You know, so you were an obvious good choice to elect. So, and then, you know, I go to your website, at least your portion of the MCTX website, and your portion has a lot in it. There's a lot of transparency there,
Mhm.
a lot of videos, a lot of stuff about road projects. So as a voter, if I have a question, that's where I'm going to go first and go, okay, what's this guy all about? And so I commend you for having as much on that portion of the website as you
Well, I
did.
appreciate it.
I
We
think
work
it's
very
really
hard.
good.
We work
It's
very
really
hard
good,
at that.
yeah.
We appreciate that.
Okay, so first question. What do you really enjoy most about serving the people of Montgomery County? So not the roads and not all that, but what do you think about the people? What's your favorite thing about Montgomery County voters and where we're at?
What you're going to think I'm kind of crazy, but what I like to do more than anything is I love to go out to homeowner association meetings. I love to go out to community events on the weekends. I love to go to somebody's house that's got 5 or 6 people in there. They're having a problem in wherever, and talk to these guys. And it makes you feel so good if you can talk to a small group of folks, and get something solved or get something. We may not completely solve the issue, but we got a line of communications going on. And I'm telling you, there's so many times where we've all been to some place where there's 15 or 20 people around there, and we think this is what we need to do for this situation. There's somebody sitting out there that will walk up and say, hey, well, have you ever thought about doing this? And I'm not one of these guys that says, yeah, okay, yeah, and forget it. If it makes sense and we think it can be done, I'm not scared to say, yeah, we'll try that. I'm not the guy that's going to say, okay, I appreciate you, and forget it. I love that kind of stuff. And if you can ever go to a school or a community center and there's senior citizens or kids or whatever, and you can do anything at all to make some of those kids happier or make those seniors feel better, I love doing that.
Cool. Yeah. And it sounds like it gives you the ability to keep your pulse on the community too.
It does.
To where you kind of know what's going on and what everybody's thinking.
Yes.
So
it's
a good thing.
When I first got elected back in 2014 or 15 when I took office, I think the following year, Meals on Wheels came to us and said, look, we're going to have to cut back on our community building. We can't afford to do, and I understand this, we can't afford to keep doing what we're doing. And we're only going to be able to service Magnolia 2 times a week. Mm-hmm. And I said, well, this is not going to happen. I'm going to take it over, and we're going to service it 5 days a week because I'm going to pay for it out of this budget somehow. And that's what we've done since day one. We didn't cut back one bit. Other folks cut back to 2 or 3 days a week. We are 5 days a week,
wow,
year round.
I didn't know that. Is there a big need out there for?
There is.
Really?
There really is. There's a very big need.
Because it seems like it's a little bit better as far as the financial position of most people in that part of the county, as opposed to like Precinct 4, unfortunately. But
it's everywhere, though, Hank. It really is, and it's
it's mainly senior citizens, I guess.
Yes, anybody that's 65 or 65 old or whatever, we just welcome into our community buildings and let them. We feed them. They play games. They play bingo. I mean, we have dances for them, and we just try to take care of those folks.
That's cool.
It is, and we got 2 new community buildings online or coming online pretty quick.
Really?
One of them's off of Wood Trace Boulevard off 2978.
Okay.
And the other one's going to be in our new 400-acre park that we secured the land for over on Fish Creek at Wood Forest.
Wow.
So we got that coming up.
So you got a new park that's being developed.
We worked for about 4 years with Johnson Development on acquiring 400 acres that they weren't going to be able to develop on because most of it's in the floodplain. But there's about 70 or 80 acres that's on high ground that we're going to put sports fields and community building, recreation building, a nature center, nature trails, sports fields. Yeah. And we worked with them about 4 years, and we finally come to an agreement. They donated the land to Montgomery County. We're going to make us a sure enough nice park over there.
Cool.
We're going to make a destination place.
Parks are great.
This is going to be one of the best.
Yeah, awesome.
We should break ground on it this coming year.
Yeah,
we will.
So it's about 3 to 5 years out, I guess.
Yeah.
Wow, cool. Okay, fantastic.
Have you seen the parks that Charlie maintains in Magnolia?
I have not. No.
So
I'd like to.
Well, you should. And I will tell you, he has a horse arena that has a reputation around the state. People literally come from all over to just work out in our horse arena because it's magnificent. And, it's also a little bit of taste of Texas, don't you think?
Cool. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's what we need. All right, fantastic. We talked a little bit about team and partnerships. So let's see here. Okay, looking forward. So I want to ask you a question. If I were to ask your best friend to give me a profile of Charlie Riley, what do you think your best friend would say? Somebody you've known your whole life.
I think they would say that I'm honest. I've got integrity, but I think one of the best things I think they would say, no matter what I was doing, if you were really in a bind and you really needed me, I'm there. And I think they would also say that they could tell me anything and trust me. And I'm the most loyal fan there is. If we are friends, true friends, got to be true friends. Can't be just an acquaintance.
Yeah.
But a true friend, I'm there. I'll do anything for you.
Yeah.
And I think that's what they'd say.
I think
I'd
it's-
hope that's what they'd say.
As we get older, it's hard to find true friends.
It is
I
hard.
think.
Yes, it is.
I wonder why.
And Hank, you can edit this out, and I'm not his best friend. We have days that I'm not sure we are friends, but I will tell you this. 4 years ago, my wife was diagnosed with Parkinson's,
Mhm.
and this man has helped me every day.
Parkinson's is rough. That's a rough disease.
And my wife's a superhero,
Yeah.
but this man helped me every day because he realized I needed help. So,
Yeah. Yeah, and that's what happens. I had a ex-wife that had cancer, and being a caregiver can be tough, man.
Mm.
You know, and a lot of people don't realize that caregivers getting both ends of it.
Hank, I
You know,
actually
it's-
advise people not to have that discussion with anyone else unless you know for a fact they were a caregiver.
Yeah.
Because they will think you lack empathy because they're just not aware of your situation.
Yeah.
My friend sitting to my left here has a special needs grandchild, so he is a caregiver, but he just stepped up. And edit this out if you want, but and I'm not his best friend.
I
We're
normally
friends.
don't edit though.
I'm just
Yeah.
telling you,
Yeah.
he's been there with me on this walk every day.
Cool. Yeah, can't beat that. Oh, you know, and I often wonder if that's just a Texas thing, or if that's an American thing, or if that's just a human thing.
I'd like to think that
You know?
it's at least an American thing. I've traveled quite a bit in my life. I don't believe it's a human thing, and if it is, it's fleeting at best.
Yeah.
But
I think it's my mom and dad thing.
yeah, it's an
That's
upbringing.
how I was brought up.
Yes.
That's it, man. Yeah, good upbringing.
Yeah, I
Well, now
did.
we're back to
I did.
Texas.
Yeah, there
Yep.
you go.
Yep.
All right. All right. So, what's the best piece of advice you can receive that you've ever received about your leadership? So, if you got one person who said, "Hey, Charlie, before you do this, I'm gonna give you a piece of advice." What do you think that best piece of advice has been?
I would think, and this is the way I've always tried to operate, Hank, I would think the best advice I got was probably from my dad, was to, if you tell it today, you've got to tell it the same way tomorrow. It's got to be the same every time you talk about it, or you're never going to have anybody believe in you one bit. Also, I've got, I don't sit there and I don't manage or micromanage anybody that works for me. I don't micromanage Bruce. I don't do Don. Anybody that works for me, this is the job we've got to do.
Mhm.
Now, when you're doing it, everything's fine. If something goes haywire, I'm coming to you. I'm not going to anybody else. I'm coming to you to find out what we're doing, and we're going to correct it. I don't do that. I let them do their job, and I think that's why we've got such a good county barn, and a precinct operations going. But it all goes back to they trust me.
Mm-hmm.
They trust me when I say I got your back, or this is how we're going to do it, and this is how we want to do it, and this is how all of us want to do this. And I've always listened to what my family has told me. You got to be true to yourself, and you got to do things the same way every day. You can't do something different because I was in Phoenix, Arizona last week. I didn't do anything different than what I'm doing sitting right here with you. I'm the same everywhere I go.
Yeah, that's important. It really is consistency,
Yes.
you know, and that does come from a good upbringing.
I had the best.
Because I meet people all the time who are inconsistent. It bothers the crap out of me. But
Yes.
You know, there's an old saying: "What's important is what you do when someone's not watching."
there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that's a gold nugget right there.
Well, I'll attest that's who he is.
Yeah. Okay. So this is your third term.
Mm-hmm.
What's the one thing that you're most proud of that you've done as commissioner? If something comes to mind, and it could be a road, it could be anything. So
You know, there's several things that I think that we've been able to accomplish that are just, they're not only great for Magnolia, Montgomery, Precinct 2, but for the whole county. And one of them is we finally got our substation built over in Magnolia for our jail,
Mhm.
or our holding facility for
Okay.
our, you know, back in the day, if a constable or DPS officer arrested somebody on Robert Cemetery Road, that's the further south point of our whole county.
Right.
And they had to take that guy to jail. It would take them 3 or 3.5 hours by the time they got to Conroe to put him in jail, then get back out here on patrol. Well, now that our substation's here, all of these, Magnolia PD, constables, sheriff's office, stagecoach, all these cities, and they can bring whoever they need to detain right there next to our county barn at our holding facility in our new building and be back on the road in about 30 minutes.
Yeah.
I think that's fantastic for the people in these areas because it keeps the patrol here instead of running up and down the roads for 3 hours.
Yeah, I agree.
The other thing that I think has been one of the best things that we've done is we didn't give up on the toll road when we were catching so much flack about building a toll road through Montgomery County.
Mm-hmm.
We just stood our ground and built the road. And right now today, that road is doing phenomenal. It's
And which toll road is that? Is that
249.
249?
FM 249
Okay.
comes right out of Harris County, goes right through Grimes County over to 105. And eventually, all of that will tie into Highway 6 all the way up to Waco. That's the goal.
Mm-hmm.
But our portion of the road's done. We stood our ground, and I say stood our ground. Maybe that's not the correct answer, but we knew this was the thing to do. It's either build it now as a toll road or wait 25 or 30 years and hopefully get a 2-lane road through Montgomery County. Well, that's not
Right.
going to help us. And the road's doing phenomenal. We're up to 1.5 million transactions a month.
Okay.
That's
That's
big.
good. Yeah.
But the biggest part about this whole thing is about anywhere from 60 to 63 or 4% of the people using that road are from other counties. So they're helping Montgomery County pay for the road that we
Right.
built through our county. So that's doing fantastic, and it's changed the whole world over on our side of the Montgomery County. It's
Sure.
it's just changed everything.
Yeah.
One of the other things that I'm proud of that I was able to do, and it wasn't just me, but I led the charge on the new forensic center. You know, we were sitting here in a bind with an old forensic center that was getting to where it couldn't pass inspections, it could not qualify. We were fixing to really get in a bind with our forensic center, and we were able to secure. We thought it was going to cost about $18 million to build this thing, and when we finally sat down at a table like this for about a year, me and the medical examiner and all these people telling us what we really have to have. Do we really have to have this? No, we can get by with this. But we finally got a state-of-the-art, one of the best forensic centers in the nation. It's sitting right here in Montgomery County, and people don't realize that.
Where's it at?
It's over by the airport.
Really?
It's a brand new, it's 2 years, 3 years old?
Yeah, so
I got to get over there.
what he did was they said it's in COVID, don't bid it out.
Yes.
And he's like, no, bid it out. It's in COVID.
Yeah.
So he made him bid right. He made him bid it out, and we saved 25, 30%. I think.
We
on
built
that
it for
job.
$11 million. They said it was going to be
like
18.
Really?
But we didn't cut any. We didn't do anything. We didn't.
People are starving
need,
for work then is what
But
it
I'm
was.
Yeah.
but I'm
That's what
telling
he
you,
said.
we got top notch stuff in the. And I'm not a medical guy, but I mean
Right.
they kept telling we need this and need that, and I didn't have any idea. But we've got the best equipment, the best in the whole state, and it's right here.
Wow.
And I'm proud that we were able to do that. That's one of the biggest things we've ever done.
That is a big deal.
It was
and
big.
I didn't even know we had something.
And I
like
was
that. I don't know
able-
if we farmed that out or what.
No,
So that's a big deal.
No, I was
Yeah.
one of them that I got to oversee that, and I'm really proud of that.
Yeah.
That was a
Wow.
big deal.
Okay. So where do you see Montgomery County in 10 years? 10 years, elected or not, re-elected or not, where do you see it?
I see it at 1 million people, no doubt.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see the growth stopping, Hank. I'm afraid that we're going to end up with nothing but concrete, nothing but houses,
Yeah.
nothing
Wow.
but industry. It's coming. We're just too close to everything else,
Yeah.
and believe it or not, we do have infrastructure that will handle most of this, but we're behind on infrastructure. You're never going to be able to be ahead of it. It just don't happen.
Right.
There's just no way.
Yeah. Yeah,
But-
nobody can plan that
No,
smart. Yeah.
like you say, 20 years ago, who would ever thought this would be this way? Who'd ever
Right.
thought that we'd be selling? Now listen to this. Who would ever thought we'd be selling property on 1488 or 2978 by the square inch?
Really?
Now that's what they're trying to do.
Are they really?
It's not square feet anymore.
I didn't even know they could do that.
I didn't-
I thought it was
I
just
thought
an
that-
acreage
no.
type of thing, a quarter acre,
No.
divisible by acreage.
No, when you get on the when
Square
you're on
On 1488.
when you're on 1488
Yeah.
road frontage of 1488, they are trying to do that. Now I don't know how successful they are. I
wonder how much an inch of property is down there.
But you, $25 or $30 a square foot is not unheard of. $40 a square foot is not unheard of. A square foot. This is a foot.
Man.
Can you imagine that?
Oh yeah, I can.
And that's why it's going to happen. It's here. There's no stopping it.
Yeah.
I wish there was. I wish there's a way we could at least slow it down. But I think we've made it so good to live in Montgomery County. That's where they're coming.
Yeah, I think it's attractive for
It
people.
really
now,
is.
you know. And when I moved out here, back in 1994, just after the flood of 94. And I remember, and it was my ex-wife at the time, I looked around and I thought to myself, yep, there's no way in hell that this will ever be anything but what it is now. You know, dirt roads and all that. So this is going to be paradise for the rest of my life. I'll be cutting firewood and hunting and having to...
Yeah.
Look at it now. I mean, it's crazy.
Well, I tell this story all the time, especially when we were working on 249. You know, 249 was 149. Come off of I-45 at
Yep.
West Mount Houston Road. That's
Yep.
what that was 149. That's the 249 now today. I can remember my grandparents owned some property on 149 between Tomball and Decker Prairie, and it was just a little house, 2 or 3 acres. My daddy told me one time when I was probably 10 or 12 years old that we were sitting out there doing something. He said, one day that's going to be a major highway right out here through the, and I looked at him like, man, ain't no way. Nah. And then it's like, well, guess what? I got to build that major highway through Montgomery County with 249.
Wow.
And it's like, man, now that just blows my mind.
Yeah.
But that I just, and again, I was probably I'm 68 now. 60 years ago, somebody said it was going to happen. Now here it is.
Yeah.
So what's going to happen in the next 60 years? It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
There's just no way. There's no way of knowing.
Hard to tell.
You can't.
Yeah. Hard to tell.
Yeah.
Yeah. So is your precinct pretty much landlocked? I mean, is everything pretty much developed, or y'all still have a lot of forest out there? Is there still a lot to go?
There was a lot to go until about 4 or 5 years ago when everything exploded on 1486. When there's about 15,000 acres or 26,000 acres out there under development right now, with another 12 to 14 that's available.
Man.
We just found out probably found out 2 months ago that through a bunch of surveys and a bunch of other things that there's 35,000 lots available to be built on in Precinct 2 right now today. That's 35,000 more houses.
Yeah.
That's houses.
And that's a double-edged sword because, you get them on the tax roll, but you also have to provide service.
That's the key. People don't realize that.
That's it.
And I did probably 10 years ago, I asked Tammy McRae, for every dollar that we get from a home,
Mm-hmm.
what does it cost us to service that home? And she finagled it around. It's way out.
I'm
of
sure it's out of whack.
So
yeah.
if we get $1 for every home, it costs $1.36. This was 10 years ago to service that home. The 36 cents don't sound like
I
much,
bet it's
but
a lot more now with inflation and such.
I bet you it's
Oh, man.
yes, it's way out of
Probably
whack
looking
right
at
now.
3-something.
But when you go and say, okay, Tammy, what about these commercial properties and real what am I trying to say? Retail developments.
Yeah.
What does that cost? For every dollar we get from them, it costs us about 18 cents to service.
Mhm.
So we need retail and development and commercial development is what we need.
Yeah. And that also is another double-edged
That's
sword.
another double S. Yes, that
Bring that in.
it just brings more people.
That's right. Yeah, and then you've got crime and problems and everything
Yes,
else. So
yes.
I mean
Yeah.
it's almost like you never can win. But I do think that Montgomery County is going to maintain its personality that it has now throughout all this.
I hope it
because
does.
of the people. That
I think it will.
guys like you.
I
know?
think so.
Guys that
There's
are
still a
around
lot of
all
us
the time, work
around.
hard, care.
Yes.
You know.
There's still a lot of us around. And even, you look at, you look at the city of Magnolia, and I say Magnolia because that's where I'm from.
Mm-hmm.
It's still got that quaint little feel to it.
Yeah.
In some places, most of Magnolia is going to end up moving out towards 249 and 1488.
Mm-hmm.
Let's face it, that's the next.
Sure. Yeah.
That's the next 2978, 1488
Yeah.
right there.
The avenue of growth.
It's coming.
Yeah.
And if you haven't been over there in a while and you haven't seen 149 Spur in 1488 with the HEB and the Starbucks and the
Lowe's.
Roadhouse and Lowe's, have you been over there, seen any of that lately?
I've seen it. We drove past it.
It reminds me of Valley Ranch and what Signorelli did over here.
Oh, yeah.
It almost, in 3 years, it's unbelievable what's
Yeah.
happened over there. It's just, you can't imagine it.
I still have pictures of the old community bridge the day before they tore it down.
Yes.
When it was just Community Drive.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
I even remember when Community Drive didn't even have a bridge. You had to risk your life by looking
You
down
had-
the freeway.
yes.
Going, okay, this is a stop sign, so when do I go? You know?
Yeah, I remember that.
Look
I
at it
remember.
now.
Yeah.
You know,
I
now
remember.
it's one of the biggest spaghetti bowls out here.
Yes.
It's gigantic. And
Yeah.
yes, Signorelli has outdone himself, hasn't he?
He really has. He's
Yeah.
done a good job over here.
And what I do like about him is that he's pretty conscientious, I think. At least that's what I hear. Is that
He is.
He's a conscientious developer, and he cares about the future of Montgomery County. Because that's where his money's at.
And you're right. And we deal with him. He's
Yeah.
got a development over there with us on
Yeah.
1486, and he's been good to deal with. I mean, he knows what he wants,
Yeah,
and he wants to work with us, but he wants us to work with him too. And that's what it's about.
yeah.
You got to sit down with these guys and figure it out. And we've got a good working relationship with him. He don't have near the development over there with us that he has here at 59 and 290 and 99.
Yeah,
That's just amazing.
yeah.
But again, that happened just like that.
Oh, I know.
It's been a while since I was over here one time, and I'd come up 99. And I look over there, the big old stadium and a big old
Yeah. Are we lost?
everything. I said, where in the world's going on? And the biggest mistake I made one time, not long ago, is coming over here to see Commissioner Gray. I forgot about 99. I come down 242
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
from 45 all the way over here, and I'm thinking, man. And then I get over here and see all this at 99. I said, I forgot I could have been here in about 45 minutes. It took me an hour and a half to go down 242. I just forgot about it.
I still take 242.
It's
You've
just
seen it. There's a lot of that's forest out there.
well, and there is a
That's
lot still
my
there.
country
Today.
out there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
today. All
Yeah.
right. Well, I know that you're up for re-election, which is a good thing, and I don't think you're going to have any problems getting there. But I'm the average voter guy. Don't know a whole lot. Don't go to commissioner's court. What can you say to sway my vote?
I will say that you're not going to find a harder working commissioner in this state. And I will say that you can look at what we said we were going to do when we first got elected, what we said we were going to do after we got through with that term, what we said we was going to do on the second term. It's been done. What we said we were going to do on the third term, we're working on that, almost got all that done, and nothing's going to change. We're going to do what we say we're going to do, and we're not slowing down. We're not going to back off. I love what I do. There's nobody going to outwork me. I may not be the smartest guy sitting up there, but I do think that I make conscientious decisions. I weigh things out. The key to being a commissioner is like we talked about earlier, Hank. It's not just Precinct 2. It's the whole county. You got to think about the whole county. And if it don't fit for you, it fits for him or fits for them, you got to deal with it. And you got to do it that way. And that's who I am. That's just what I'm going to do.
Okay. How can people find out more about Charlie Riley? You got a website and all that stuff?
I do have a website. What is it, Bruce?
I don't know. I don't keep track of this.
CharlieRiley.org.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. Charlie, and I'll put a description in
Listen,
the link.
I don't
A
mean that
link
to
in the
sound.
description, guys.
I don't mean that to sound rude. I
No,
I
I
have
know.
people that deal with. I don't deal
Got a lot
with it.
going
I
on.
want to do what I'm doing, and
That's
I
it.
let them do that.
Yeah, not a
But
problem.
we've got a lot of good stuff on
Yeah.
websites and whatever else we got.
Yeah.
We do.
So I got 2 words to describe you best from our encounters in the past and even today. Experience and integrity. I mean, you've been around a long time. You've obviously got integrity. I've been, like I said, the MCTX website, your portion, if you go to commissioners, go to departments, commissioners, Precinct 2, Once that opens up, you're going to be there for a little bit. It's got a lot of videos, a lot of information about road bond projects, about the road bond itself, all the other stuff that he's doing, civic centers and everything else. Go check it out. If you got any questions, that's one of the greatest places you can go. And not only that, but that entire website's a good website. It'll familiarize you with who's who in Montgomery County and what the particular positions are and how they all work together. Charlie, I appreciate you coming, man. I know that it was tough getting you out here, and because you're a busy guy, and our schedules just kind of conflicted for a while.
They did.
But it's been worth it. It's been a good conversation. I always learn something, and I learned something again today, and I appreciate you for that. So there you have it, guys. Charlie Riley, he's up for re-election. Third term, the man's been in office a long time, and there's a reason why. And so that's what you need to look at is what's the reason that he's had that sustainability and been able to move forward and get things done. Not only does he get things done for Precinct 2, but he gets things done for all of us here in Montgomery County, and that's the important thing to consider when you're at the voting box making that decision. Bruce, thanks so much for coordinating with me for so long and working everything out. I appreciate that. You guys have been a real pleasure to work with. I mean, your office is amazing. And I'm going to get out to that forensic center and check it out.
Let me know. We'll go out there together.
Man, I'd love to.
I'd love to take you
I'll
out there.
grab a camera and go out there.
You're going to be amazed.
You are.
You will.
I've
be
never seen
amazed.
anything like that before. So.
We'd never even heard of majority of the things they were talking about. It's amazing.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm not going to not say it. Everyone told him not to bid the job out. Everybody except I said, I think you're right.
Yeah.
I did. And he did. And my gosh, we banked that money.
There you go. That's usually the way things work out, man. Somebody's got a good idea and just jump on it and make it happen.
Yeah, not afraid to do it.
All right. Well, there you have it, guys. Charlie Riley, Precinct 2, Montgomery County. Got a lot of stuff going on. I appreciate you for watching. I especially appreciate you for subscribing to the channel. We're up. I think we're around 58,000, 60,000 subscribers. So we're cooking. We're making it happen. And the reason why is because we're providing you guys with good information and good content. So look forward to doing some good shows coming up here, and we'll see you in the next one. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Thanks a lot, Charlie.
Thank you, Angry. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you very
Y'all
much.
did great, man.